Next question on not-for-profit organization. From the following balance sheet and receipts and payments account of Padmavati Hospital, prepare an income and expenditure account for year 88-89 and a balance sheet on 31-3-89. So your current year, note here that your current year is 88-89. Okay. Now, quickly reading the balance sheet. Salary is unpaid. Some expenses which are unpaid, mark the expenses. Salary is unpaid. Then medical bill unpaid. This is also expense which is unpaid during the previous year. So mark it. And capital fund, leave it. Cash, securities, furniture, these are all your balance sheet item. Just keep marking. Cash is your balance sheet item. Securities again balance sheet item. Furniture your balance sheet item. Land and building your balance sheet item. Equipment again your balance sheet item. Now subscriptions due 5,000 and interest accrued. These are income due but not received, so they are in asset side of last year balance sheet. So mark them again that these are incomes and I need to take care of subscriptions due and interest accrued. Now going on to the receipts and payments account 88-89. Cash 11,000 opening balance. As I can see here that balance sheet has 11,000 cash, last year balance sheet. Interest including rupees 1,500 of the last year. Now this is important. Interest accrued is given here 1,500 and received during the year is 5,000, which includes 1,500 of the last year. Mark it. Donations revenue 4,300 and income. Life membership fee as revenue, donations revenue 4,300. It will be recorded in your income and expenditure account because they have specifically mentioned that the donation is of revenue nature. Had it been capital, it had been gone to the balance sheet, but revenue nature, so income and expenditure account में आप इसको record करेंगे. Life membership fee 10,000. Okay, life membership fee is again an income. Furniture again your balance sheet item, means furniture was existing and now new furniture purchased on 1/4/88. So this will go to the balance sheet, and since 1/4/88 starting of the year, depreciation will be on full amount. Equipment purchased on 1/4/88, again an addition to the equipment and 1/4/88. So on full amount you will put the depreciation. It is in balance sheet item. Salaries including rupees 200 of the last year 23,000. So my expense. Dispensary expenses, again my expense. Medicines my expense. Taxes again my expense, and closing balance of cash will go in your balance sheet. Now reading on to the adjustments. Capitalize the amount of life membership fee. So life membership 10,000 needs to go to the capital, that is capitalized, means needs to go to your balance sheet. Interest earned but not received rupees 1,000. Let's make the schedule, what all schedules are there, and we can do the adjustment accordingly. Income we have seen. What are the two incomes? It is subscription due and interest accrued, which has adjustments. So first is your subscription. And second is your interest. And what about the expenses that needs some adjustments? See, expenses we have marked. Salaries. So salary I can put here, salaries. Then it is your medicine expense. And the third is your taxes. Okay. So what I'll do is, I'll take the amount. Let's start with the income schedule first. So in receipt side, what I have received subscription 30,000. So let's start. Received during the year, total cash received during the year. make these schedules, it is very easy to calculate, and there are chances that you will not do mistakes. So it may take time, but try and make this schedule. As it grows into a habit, it will become easier. So interest subscriptions that is received is 30,000. Subscriptions I have done 30,000. Okay, and interest including 1,500 for the last year. So total interest which I have received is 5,000. And my formula is add outstanding less prepaid of your current year, and it will be less outstanding previous year and add prepaid of your current year. Okay, so see what are the subscriptions outstanding in the previous year is given here, that 5,000 of the previous year is outstanding. So what will I do? Last year ka 5,000 subtract here, and interest accrued means it is again pertaining to the last year. So subtract here 1,500. Okay, now going on, what are the adjustments for your subscriptions and interest? See, one point here, interest entered but not received, interest earned but not received is 1,000. So this is your interest earned but not received during the year. So what is it? It is your outstanding interest, means accrued but not received. So outstanding interest of the current year is 1,000. So add 1,000 here. This is done. And subscriptions include rupees 1,000 for the year 8990. That is your next year. So prepaid subscription. So what will you do? Subscriptions include for the year 8990 is your prepaid subscription. So 1,000, add outstanding less prepaid. So less 1,000 from here. And outstanding subscriptions for 8889, that is current year, is 4,200. So add outstanding how much? 4,200. This adjustment is also done. And from here we will take up the amounts and put them in income and expenditure account as well as in balance sheet. So just make a quick calculation. 30,000 plus 4,200 minus 1,000 minus 5,000 gives you 28,200. 28,200 is your income for the current year. Income for current year. And see here, 5,000 plus 1,000 minus 1,500 is your income for the current year, 4,500. Now coming up to the expense schedule, we have three expenses here: taxes, salaries and medicines. So we will do that first. See, salaries given here is 23,000. So paid during the year. In receipts and payments we get paid. So paid during the year. How much is it? It is 23,000. So salaries paid is 23,000. This is done. Dispensary expenses 4,700, doesn't have an adjustment. Medicines 5,500. So medicines 5,500. And taxes 500 has last adjustment. Prepaid taxes are 100. So taxes 500 again in your adjustment. This is your expense schedule in which we have right now paid expenses during the year. And the same thing, add outstanding less prepaid of your current year. Now outstanding of previous year and outstanding of prepaid of your previous year. What will you do? Outstanding इधर add था तो इधर less करो, और less था prepaid तो इधर add करो. Okay. Now see the adjustment for your salary. Unpaid salary for the year 88-89 is 2,500. 88-89 is your current year. For that, outstanding salary is given 2,500. So add outstanding salary 2,500 mentioned here. And what about the other adjustment? See your balance sheet given of the last year. Salaries unpaid 2,000. What is this now? Now this is outstanding of the previous year. So outstanding of the previous year, it was not unpaid. So minus 2,000. This is done. Now taking up the medicine. See, paid during the year we have already written 500. Nothing in the adjustments for medicine. But look at the opening balance sheet. Medical bill unpaid. That is, it is outstanding of the last year. So formula is add outstanding less prepaid for current year but less outstanding for the previous year. So subtract 1,500 from here, and adjustment for medicine is also done. Now taxes. Taxes, nothing is mentioned about a small adjustment except that prepaid taxes are rupees 100 during the year. Prepaid taxes are rupees 100. So add outstanding less prepaid. So minus 100 over here. These all amounts which are pertaining to the current year will also be taken to the balance sheet, and I will show you once we make the balance sheet. But right now we have found out income and expenses which are to be taken to income and expenditure account. So expense from expense schedule, what we have found out? Expenses of the current year. So expenses of your current year. 500 minus 100 is 400. And 23,000 plus 2,500 minus 2,000 comes up to 23,500. And 5,500 minus 1,500 comes up to 4,000. Now let's move on to income and expenditure account, and I'll show you how to plot the same in your income and expenditure account. चलो अब इनकम एंड एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंट में फिगर्स डालना स्टार्ट करते हैं. सो लेट्स टेक अप द इनकम साइड फर्स्ट. इनकम रिसीव्ड होती है, ओपनिंग कैश बैलेंस का कोई सेंस नहीं. नाउ सब्सक्रिप्शन. सो सब्सक्रिप्शन, स्टार्ट विद द इनकम ऑफ सब्सक्रिप्शन. सब्सक्रिप्शन का फिगर हमने हमारा इनकम शेड्यूल बना के निकाला था. दैट इज 28,200. Take it from the income schedule, 28,200. So subscription is done. Now interest. Interest का figure take from the schedule again. So interest 4,500 from the schedule that you had prepared. Okay. Now donations are revenue in nature. Specifically said revenue, मतलब कि इनकम साइड में आएगा. कैपिटल होता तो आप उसको बैलेंस शीट में लेके जाते. So donations, as specifically said, they are revenue. So it will be 4,300 are my donations. Life membership fee 10,000. Read in the additional points. It is first point, capitalize the amount of life membership fee. So again this is your balance sheet item. बैलेंस शीट में लेके जाना है क्योंकि स्पेसिफिकली कह दिया है कि इसको हमें कैपिटलाइज करना है. सो डोंट टेक दिस अमाउंट. नाउ मूविंग अप टू योर एक्सपेंडिचर साइड. सी फर्नीचर बैलेंस शीट आइटम, इक्विपमेंट बैलेंस शीट आइटम. द थर्ड इज सैलरीज. शेड्यूल देखो एक्सपेंस का. सैलरीज का कितना एक्सपेंस है पर्टेनिंग टू द करंट ईयर? इट इज 23,500. See, in the schedule 23,500 we have already calculated. Now salary is done. Dispensary expenses 4,700 without adjustment. So mark dispensary expenses. How much? 4,700. That is done. And now what is remaining? Medicines take from the schedule. Medicines from schedule is 4,000. Taxes also adjustment was there. So from schedule, taxes amount is 400. All other expenses are written. Now one thing, see, you should pay attention. All the furniture, equipment, land and building, they are your balance sheet item, but depreciation has to be put in. So one expense which is still to be marked is your depreciation. So to depreciation, depreciation का adjustment देखो, provide depreciation on furniture at the rate 10%. So 10% पे आपका furniture है, and then land and building 5%, land and building 5% है, and your equipment 20%. So how will you calculate it? I'll show it to you. Now depreciation के figures के लिए देखो. First is your furniture. So furniture available in old balance sheet is 4,000, and what you have got during the year is 1,900. So 4,000 plus 1,900 comes to 5,900, and in that it is mentioned that 10% depreciation. So 10% of 5,900 comes to 590. So 590 is your depreciation on furniture. Now land and building. See, land and building given in your old balance sheet 2 lakh, no additions during the year, and it is specifically mentioned that land and building to be depreciated at 5%. So 5% of 2 lakhs comes up to 10,000. So 10,000 is your land and buildings depreciation. And now the next thing, next assert equipment 15,000, and equipment purchased during the year is 7,500. So 15,000 plus 7,500 is 22,500, and depreciation at the rate 20% comes up to 4,500. So total depreciation 590 plus 10,000 plus 4,500 comes 15,090. 15,090 is your total depreciation that we have arrived. And now we'll take the total of both the sides and we'll ascertain whether there is an surplus or deficit. So take the total. The total of your expenditure side is higher as it is 47,690. 47,690 is your total. 47,690. So 47,690 minus 3 items 28,200, 4,500 and 4,300 will get a deficit. So by deficit, the deficit comes to 10,690. Now we'll go to plot the balance sheet. Starting with plotting our balance sheet. First item is cash. Cash here is opening balance sheet में 11,000 था. Receipts and payment देखो, opening 11,000 and closing 17,200. So take the closing cash. Cash 17,200. One item of balance sheet done. Securities 1,50,000 and no change in securities. So as it is, securities 1,50,000. Now furniture. Look at furniture. Furniture में adjustment है. 4,000 is opening. So furniture 4,000, and we have also purchased furniture during the year. So 4,000 plus 1,900 comes up to 5,900, and depreciation at furniture is 10%, 590. So 5,900 minus 10% depreciation, that comes to 590. And what will you take out in the outer column? It is 5,310. Furniture is also done. Land and building 2 lakh. So land and building 2 lakh. There is no addition in land and building, no payment further for land and building, but there is depreciation of 10% given in the question. So depreciation of 5% actually. See, in the question it is mentioned land and building को depreciate करना है at the rate 5%. So less depreciation at the rate 5%. 5% of 2 lakhs is 10,000. So it is 1,90,000. And land and building is done. Equipment 15,000. So equipment is 15,000. And is there an addition in equipment? Yes, equipment purchased on 1/4/88, 7,500. So equipment purchased is 7,500, and at the beginning of the year, so depreciation will be on the whole amount 15,000 plus 7,500, 22,500, less depreciation at the rate 20%. So less depreciation at the rate 20% comes up to 4,500. Take the amount in the outer column, it is 18,000. So this is done. Now see the liabilities side. You have capital fund 3,83,000. So capital fund 383. And one thing, life membership fees. Life membership fees, first point it was written as capitalize the amount of life membership fee. So add the life membership fee to the capital. Life membership fee, add 10,000. That comes up to 3,93,000. Now इनकम एंड एक्सपेंडिचर अकाउंट से डेफिसिट था, तो डेफिसिट है एज गुड एज लॉस, तो उसको निकालो कैपिटल से बाहर. लेस डेफिसिट, $10,690 is your deficit as per your income and expenditure account. So in the outer column what you get is 3,82,310. Now what else is left? See your income schedule and your expense schedule. So interest which is outstanding means I had to received, I still not received in current year, so that is my income. So outstanding incomes. Interest, first point is interest, that is 1,000. Then your subscriptions, subscriptions that I should have received in the current year but not received, that is 4,200. And your prepaid taxes, that is in advance I have paid those taxes. This is not income, that is, this is expenses paid in advance. So prepaid taxes paid in advance, prepaid taxes. that is taxes paid in advance 100. And what about my outstanding expenses of the current year? Outstanding expenses. See the expense schedule. Salary. Salary is paid, not yet paid. So outstanding expense of the current year, salary 2,500. And subscriptions, prepaid subscriptions are what? They are liability to me. So prepaid subscriptions, 1,000. So take the total now. 3,85,810. And here 5,310 plus 1,19,000 plus 18,000 plus 1,50,000 plus 17,200 plus 1,000 plus 4,200 plus 100 comes to 3,85,810. So this is all for this question.